Alright guys, welcome back to Valorant News as DSG lock up yet another defeat in a disastrous match last night up against TSM. What is the future of this organisation? What is Toast going to decide to do? Because he does not seem confident right now they can win any game against any team, and they will need to if they want to avoid relegation from challenges. If they do get relegated, what are they going to do going forwards? What's the future of Ye as well after another underwhelming performance? Very much intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. Plenty of quick updates for you guys. First of all, the Pacific Ascension event, which is going on in, well, June to early July, is going to take place in Bangkok, Thailand. Really cool stuff. That's when it's going to take place. Of course, all around the leagues around the world, the Ascension tourneys will go on to determine who's going to get up to the Tier 1 Partnership League and, well, ascend in that manner. Really looking forward to it. This is also quite a cool one here from Evil Geniuses. So they're hosting an Evil exhibition. Join us at the Vindictive Bar and Wings in Seattle, which I believe is maybe where they're headquartered out of, so that's what they're doing for another VCT America's watch party. Free entry, free food for all of the 4 people that are going to attend, free EG themed drinks. I'm just checking, by the way. I think Evil Geniuses have actually gained some fans over the last few days by, you know, making some questionable calls, bringing in Demon 1, benching BCJ, and really delivering over the last few weeks. So anyway, they're doing a watch party. If you guys are local, then feel free to attend. Free food, free drink. I mean, you know, what could go wrong with stuff like that? So if you're local, you might as well go out to it. May the 18th is the date here, 2:30 p.m, which is actually tomorrow. So pretty exciting stuff. There was also this debate here between George Geddes and Leo Farrier from the Right Game side on a new tournament potential. So George Geddes says, what about if the Ascension winners, instead of having the second place teams at the last chance qualifiers for around the world just going home, have them play the 3 Ascension tournament winners from around the world to have a 6-team event. The winner of that 6-team event goes to Champions, I guess in his opinion replacing one of the Chinese teams. I think that'd be the plan. Leo says, look, would be a fun tourney, but that defeats the purpose of the system. Champions is aimed at the best teams in the world. You prove to be among the best teams in the world by performing in your international league. No one gets to skip that. So yeah, his idea is that these Ascension teams, until they've actually qualified up to partnership and they've actually run around those leagues, then they shouldn't be allowed to qualify. Although, let's be honest, right, if they have, you know, qualified through Ascension and made it into the franchise league, that's kind of at the level of a team where, you know, they're obviously considered to be at that tier 1 level. So maybe something like this could be done. It's not going to be done now. Obviously, they're not going to drop a spot from China or something like that and change the rules based on a George Geddes tweet. But he does say that something like this in the off-season could be a possibility. It'd be a challenge to create stakes and consequences in the season, but it could be a great tournament for the off-season where we look for new matchups and types of competition. Tier 1 versus Tier 2, co-ed versus game changers, creators versus pros, nation-based teams, you know, World Cup is always good fun, stuff like that. So, or World, you have to call it like World Classic or something because World Cup is copyrighted and trademarked and everything, so you can't use that terminology elsewhere, but that might be a plan going forward. Thought this is quite cool from well, Zelters as well, from Cloud9, basically saying that he doesn't want his team to get too comfortable because right now, according to DFA Montero, we'll see in a second, they are the best team in the Americas by the ELO rating. Yes, Loud still 7-1. Cloud9 also looking to potentially put up a similar scoreline here, the way they've played over the last few weeks. But Loud with their recent defeat, Cloud9 on their winning run, they are technically meant to be the team to beat in the Americas. It still doesn't really feel like that. It still feels like Loud should be the favourite, and probably in a big event setting I would still say that's the case. But yeah, Cloud9 definitely don't want to take their foot off the accelerator, and Zelters is like, look, we've got to stay focused. Speaking of the best teams in the world, actually, Na'Vi might be trying to cook up something here against Fnatic. They play Fnatic today, and that is really a Fnatic at 8-0 right now. This is the only team probably that has a chance to beat them here, Na'Vi. You would think that they could put up a fight. I'm still expecting Fnatic to win, but they've barely lost any maps so far this season. They're 16-1 map record, Fnatic, with an 8-0 series record, 92 round differential. By quite some margin, the best performances in World Valorant right now. But Na'Vi are 7-1, 14-4 map record. If there's one team that can probably take down Fnatic or at least give it a go in that region, it is Na'Vi. So we'll see how that goes. I'm looking forward to that tonight. At least if Fnatic get pushed to a map 3, that would be quite exciting. So, and we can see actually based on the ELO ratings that, as I say, DFA Montero put together here, 15-7-3, 15-5-6, so pretty competitive theoretically between those two teams. In the Pacific, of course, it's DRX, PaperX, and in the Americas, it's actually Cloud9 leading the way by quite some margin. EG right now are apparently the 4th best by latest Elo ratings. This doesn't show the whole picture, but it certainly gets something of the point across. And even MIBR worse than Crew based on their recent results. Even though Crew have no victories, at least they have more maps or more rounds in their recent maps than MIBR managed. And unfortunately, it's a similar story here for DSG, putting basically no rounds on the board. First of all, they had a really tough situation with another change they had to make to their roster, which pretty much called it a day for their chances in the series they played last night. So, I mean, and also, Disguised Toast himself was not a happy man about the format, right? Because they are playing at TSM and M80 again. The amount of times they played these two teams in their groups before, in like all the matches they played from there onwards, you know, mid-season invitational, stuff like this, now into Split 2 by the groups just effectively they got drawn a couple of the same teams again to play these poor teams again. Like, look, if they were getting smoked by everyone or esports Mad Lions, then, you know, whatever, you can't complain. But when you were getting smoked by the same teams again and again, it just super frustrating. Before we get to that one, speaking of Mad Lions, they did lose 2-1 to Or Esports last night. A series that in the grand scheme of things probably isn't going to matter all that much just because they're going to be in this kind of relegation dogfight battle there with Disguised regardless. It seems that's the case anyway. 13-10 for Mad Lions, or 13-10 for esports game 1, 13-10 back their way, and then 13-10 the other way, right? It's a bit of a flip-flop series here, but fair play to Or Esports. Getting the job done. Narrate, again, good series from him, but wasn't enough on this occasion. Mad Lions still not really delivering anything spectacular. And then we had M80 versus Oxygen. This was a 2-1 competitive series again. M80 getting pushed to the limit. Yes, they're still winning maps quite comfortably, 13-7, 13-7 the games they won, but latest was 13-9 to Oxygen, so good performance from them. And yeah, it must be said that it's really interesting to see how M80 are, you know, they're not crushing everyone. Oxygen are definitely very good as well. So this was an impressive victory, I thought, from M80. And they're still the favourites from the Americas, I think, to win Ascension. But it's not super guaranteed as it was a few months ago. And before we talk about this DSG series, just got to mention the Gangster was the man to be making way because his room got flooded, he says, so I will not be playing today. I don't know how that's possible. Like, obviously hope everything's okay for Gangster at his house and everything works out okay because, yeah, that's obviously not optimal. So he wasn't able to play in the series. They had to bring Riku back into their roster and it didn't go so well.
The 6th time in 3 months. I don't even mind getting our ass kicked by like a variety team, which is what happened. We got kicked by Turtle Troops. We got kicked by Shopify Rebellion. M80. What else was it on Bragg? Oxygen. See, those losses, you know, fair play to them. But like, god damn, why am I watching this matchup for the 6th time? The format overall was just bad. It just makes zero sense to compare the scoreline of two separate groups. I'm gonna come on and say it. Knights Arena's format for this Challenger League is bad. I don't care if I get fined. You don't compare the results of two separate groups and like match it up against each other. That makes zero sense. But relegation next month. So next month, in the first week of June, we will be playing to keep our spot in Challengers. And OR Esports and Mad Lions we'll definitely see there. But we beat both those teams once, so we probably could. Go. Yeah, we beat them before. Let's just beat them again. We beat those two teams and we stay in Challengers. But at this point, I don't think we can beat anyone.
Wait, hold on. You're losing me here. Okay, I see goods, I see bads, and then you go back to the goods, and then somehow you circle. We need to stay on page and focus on the positives here, which is that, look, I mean, all things considered, you guys fucking are top 1%.
So what do you guys think is the future of Disguise as an organization? It's kind of sad to see, right? Because the poor guy, he's going through it, right? Watching this team play and lose day after day is tough for him. And I feel bad because he's invested a lot into these players, into this team, and I'm sure they want the best for themselves and for him as well too. We've seen before from some of the players that, he's been such a great owner for the team. But fundamentally, didn't make the greatest decisions building this roster. The team was okay when they had Steel, but they got rid of Steel, brought in Exalt as their IGL again, and it's obviously just not working. Like, they looked their best when they had Steel and pre-Ye. Not to say Ye's ruined this team. Ye obviously must be frustrated with the way things are going and isn't playing well individually either. He was on the Jet, map 1, it didn't work out. They put him on the Sage, that wasn't going to work out. And DSG is an organization, they've done so much cool stuff over the last few months that, you know, the credit they've built up from the community. But comparing that to what, you know, Charlie and Ludwig have managed, most critical, right, over at the Moist Mogul side of things, they're, you know, they've got a good roster, right? They're doing much better. They made the correct choices in terms of their team. And now Toast is really going to have to go through it because they're 0-5. They got crushed this stage again. He even said in that clip that he doesn't feel like they can beat anyone the way they're currently playing. Steel even says, you know, GG, tough loss, stronger, you know, sorry to all the fans, we'll be back stronger type thing because, you know, poor guy wasn't even playing, got benched from the team, which I don't think was necessarily a good call. So TSM get the job done at 2-0. I mean, Ye goes 15-31 over the series, 3-8 first bloods, you know, 6 in, I think, okay, 18-14 game 1 here, but everyone was getting smoked. And then game 2, that was 13-3. Game 2 was 13-8 again. Clear tried his best, but yeah, it wasn't going to happen. Ye was 7-17 on the Sage. So yeah, I mean, good series from TSM, but Ye is just obviously not the Ye that we expected on this team. Obviously, we weren't expecting him to just put the entire team on his back and carry 1 versus 5, but I mean, I think we expected something a bit more than this, and it just does go to show that maybe, you know, post-chamber, but also post having the OpTic core, Ye just isn't the player that he was previously, and I'm sure from a mental perspective, he's obviously not, you know, finding himself in the greatest spot as well, in terms of staying fully committed to the game. So that now leaves Disguise 0-5, 2 map wins, 10 map losses, and, you know, even G2 on the other side. But we see all esports here, 2-3, Mad Lions 1-4. Those teams based on points will probably be down there in the bottom 4, fighting with Disguised for, you know, to potentially make it back in for next season. But of the 4 worst teams in challenges, they'll go down to a relegation tournament where, like, Disguise will need to beat some of those teams, to be honest, in order to make it back in next season. And if they don't, they'll have to re-qualify from scratch with an entirely new team. So, yeah, big decisions to be made. Feel bad for everyone involved, to be honest, but, you know, it is what it is, and the format probably hasn't helped them either. But very much enjoyed to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.